Hello everyone, I'm about to dehydrate the nail. I'm using Entity's dehydrator, but you can use any. There's so many brands out there that you can get anywhere. Any nail supply, any beauty supply, nail dehydrator. And this is my protein bond. It's my choice. I love this one. You can use your primer, any type of primer that you use, or bonder. Protein bond, you have to apply it 2 times so it can work properly. What I'm going to do is this is such a simple design. It's a very simple design, and my client wanted something very simple, but she wanted to incorporate lace. So I did a video of my set. I think the video is called Red with Lace. They're red nails with lace. And I encapsulated lace, but I used a nail tip. In this case, I'm using nail forms, as you can see. And these nail forms are from Harmony, and I got them at beautywest.com. And as you can see, this is an almond shaped nail. I'm just cleaning the sides. I try to be very clean in my work so I don't have to file so much when I take off the forms. So try to do the nail as best as you can while you're forming it, so you don't have to file so much and waste so much time filing. So I'm just measuring the finger, the width of the finger, to see how I'm going to cut the lace. And I got that piece there. I'm just going to round off the edges so they won't stick out on the cuticle area. And there we go. So it's not exactly, but it's, estimating the size of the nail. If I need any more lace, there's no problem in cutting another piece. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build a base, and with just a very thin layer of clear acrylic, still giving it that almond shape. Just imagine an almond. And that's how it's shaped, round on top, and it gets pointy on the bottom. Just have that in your mind while you're shaping the nail. So it's a very thin layer of acrylic, as you can see, because we're going to encapsulate it. And if we do it too thick, it's going to end up looking too thick. So make sure you do it very thin, just enough to hold a piece of lace. So I'm brushing on some nail glue, and I'm going to adhere the piece of lace to this base that we already formed. I take a piece of plastic to press it down, just for the obvious fact that I don't want to get my fingers stuck on the lace, and it just helps me to press it freely. Once it's dry, I put another layer of glue over the lace, but as you can see on the left side right there, we missed a little piece, so I just cut a small little piece again, and we're adding it on there, and you can't even tell that we added another little piece. And with the same plastic, I'm going to press it and give it one more little layer of resin. That way it's not going to lift when we're encapsulating it. So I have to let that dry completely before we encapsulate. So once it dried, I started encapsulating, and I just have to make sure that the bead of acrylic is more wet than usual, because we want it to penetrate into the lace so there won't be any bubbles, air bubbles in there. So once we put on all the acrylic in there, I put one more bead just to shape it and clean off the cuticle area. With a 100-100 file, 100 grit file, I'm going to just shape the free edge. Make sure that point is on point. And then with the electric file, I'm going to seal the cuticle area, and I just go, from the top to the bottom, since some of you have requested for me to show a little bit more of when I'm filing with the electric file. And then I just go from side to side to give it that perfect roundness. And then I go in once again with the 100-100 file, grit file, just to perfect the form and to smooth out any lines that the electric file left. It's very important that you do each step properly, and that way your client is going to appreciate it because their nails are going to look just perfect. And then I just buff the nails, and now I'm just taking off all the excess powder. And what I'm spraying here is just rubbing alcohol. I have it in a little bottle. You can use any cleanser that you have. It doesn't have to be alcohol, but if you don't have a special cleanser, then alcohol will do just fine. I'm putting pure acetone in my little dampen dish, and this is a little brush for gel nails, but I used it. I like to use it to clean off the excess nail polish. And as you can see, this is OPI's My Vampire is Buff. This is a beautiful color. My client brought it with her, and I loved it. I loved it, and I'm putting the first layer on right now. As you can see, it doesn't matter if you touch the finger, the cuticle area, because we're going to go in and clean it off with this little brush. You don't know what a difference this makes when you clean off the edges. It just makes your work look so clean, and all that hard work you put in, it's just worth it in the end because it looks beautiful. And you have to make sure you seal the edges also with the polish, because if we don't do that, you know, it's gonna chip faster. So I'm just showing you here how I dip it in the acetone, and I touch the napkin once just so all the excess acetone can go to the napkin, because if I just put the brush in the acetone and go right onto the nail, it's going to, you know, mess up the nail polish. So right here I'm going in with the second coat, sealing the edges, the free edge also. Here I'm going in with the second coat, as you can see. And since we already cleaned the edges, as you can see, I just touched the side of the finger a little bit. Well, it's just a minor thing. We just cleaned that easily, but I like to clean it the first coat because then it'll get too hard to where we'll struggle. It dries up and you'll struggle. So I just put Protein Bond around the cuticle area without touching the skin on the nails, on the accent nail where I put the lace. This just helps the UV gel adhere better to the nail on that area so it won't lift. And since it's a see-through nail, clear, I'm adding it on both sides. And I'm using my UV Shine from my line. You can purchase it on my online store, novanailsinc.com. It's a beautiful UV Shine. It does not, it doesn't lose its shine. I love it. And now I'm using Entity's cuticle oil for the cuticle area. And I really hope you like this design. It's very simple, but you know, very wearable. And you can change up the colors, change it up however you want. Just, this is the idea for you. I hope you liked it. If you recreate it, hashtag me on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me. I'll leave the links down below of my Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.